저기 걸어 내려간다 우리.
왜?
야, we sleeping over there. over there 저기야.
이게 잘 돼가지고.
야, 야. 아, 좋아요. 더워.
그거 안 된다는 게
예.
왔어. 돌려줬는데 또.
아이고 더워.
So this is the Western Palace. I don't want to talk about the Western Palace. I want to go to the important part, and this is the story of the battle. So as I told you, in the autumn of the year 74 AD, and it will be in the autumn, the Roman would come here. And the people that live in Masada, they know that the Romans are coming. They've been prepared themselves for it. The Romans arrived, and they built the siege wall just to make sure that no one will escape. But the problem is that the people up here on the mountain, and the Romans know there's no point laying a siege on the people. They know they have water, they know they have food. More than that, they have very limited window of opportunity to finish the story. Why? Because they arrive here with a massive forces, maybe 10,000 people. They cannot provide water and food for them in the summer. They have to finish the story, the campaign, by the spring. Okay? They're on a very, very a short time. So, after finishing the siege wall, the Romans start to build the ramp. Why do they need to build a ramp? Because on the other side, the snake path is just too steep, and they cannot push the siege engine, the siege tower, on top of it. They need to have something that is easier. Okay, so they build a ramp over here where the elevation difference is not 900 feet, but 300 feet. How are you going to do it? You're going to bring beams of wood, and there's no wood around, and you're going to build construction. We're going to see some of those wooden beams still stick from the ground. On top of them, you're going to put layers of rock and small stones and soil and dirt, and you're going to make a path. It took them another 4 months. So 6 months after they started, it's time for them to push up the siege engine, the siege tower. This is a very unique weapon that was illegal to create in anywhere but Rome. If you make it somewhere else, it's act of treason against the Roman Empire. It was such a great military secret. Okay? So they bring it all from Rome to the port of Caesarea. Okay? And they bring it here, they reassemble it over here, and they start to push it up the mountain. It's a tower, and we have to understand, while they're pushing it and while they're building, the defenders are fighting them. They're shooting arrows and spears and huge stones that they roll over their heads, but the Romans know how to handle it. And they start to push up the mountain, the siege tower, and in the top of it there is the battling ram, okay, that hit the stone wall and break them. It hit the stones over and over again till they break. But the defenders are not stupid, and they build an inner wall that's made of wood, sand and wood. It's more elastic, and you observe the shock, and it does not break, but it's made of wood. So the Roman set it on fire. You can feel it now. In the afternoon there's a strong wind coming from the east. So the wind carry the fire to the siege engine, and the siege engine is on fire, and Roman soldiers jumping from the top of it, and most of the soldiers in the camp start to pack their things, because they know that if it's failing, there is no way that they can end up the campaign this summer. But the commander stopped them and tell them, look, the wind changed again. And the wind indeed changed again. He told them, tomorrow morning we climb up to Masada, and we're going to take down Masada. It was Passover Eve, the holiday of liberation. Right? The Jews were liberated from Egypt. And the commander of the people has a gathering. He bring all the people to the room next to the bathhouse, and he told them, brothers and sisters, we are so lucky. You mean lucky? People look at him and say, okay, he's losing his mind, you know, it's a lot of pressure on his shoulder. So no, we are lucky because we are given a choice. We can die as free men before our children sold to be slaves. And the people are not sure what he's talking about. To make it very clear, we say each one of us should kiss his wife and children goodbye, take out his dagger and take their life. Then the men will meet together and will say goodbye to each other and will make the lot. And 10 of us will kill the rest, and then the last man will kill himself. And the rooms over there called the lots room because over there we found clay pieces with name on them. So maybe over there was the lots that described by the historian that tell us the story. But how do we know? If they all killed themselves, how do we know that this is what happened?
Survivor.
So the historian Flavius Josephus that tell us about it, he was a Jew that converted out of Judaism and he became the historian of the Roman army. And he tell us that when the Roman army entered Masada, there are 2 women and 3 children that running to them from one of the cisterns and tell them, you know, do whatever you want, don't let those crazy people kill us. And the Romans see that the entire place is on fire. Okay? So the Romans said, if it's all on fire, what happened over here? And the women start to tell them the story. All the warehouses that we've seen, the Romans were burning them. The defender burning them because they didn't want the Romans to have the spoil. They left one room with money, with olive oil, with wine, with dates, with bread, with cheese, with silk, to let them know we were rich, we were strong. We did not suffer. They died as proud men. Now, this is the story. And every children in Israel, in his school trip, he will arrive here and he will hear this story. And once again in the army, and I have to tell you guys, this is a stupid story. It's an idiotic story. Try to imagine every time someone wanted to kill us, all the Jews will commit mass suicide. We wouldn't make it out of Egypt. Okay? Right? What is the great lessons over here? So many people try to kill us over the years. Babylonian, Persian, Assyrian, Egyptian, Muslims, okay? Crusaders. What's the great lesson over here? Huh? So the truth is that this is a story that was never shared. And it was a story that was long forgotten by the Jews. But when young Jews start to follow Theodor Herzl and his dream, they needed a new role model. They needed to know the Jews can fight and be proud. And they start to educate the people to follow the dream or follow the idea of Masada defenders. And when young people, high schoolers, will go to a trip in the desert, they will arrive to Masada in the 1920s to hear the story of Masada, to know that they are capable, to know that they can do it. And indeed, in the 1940s, when the Nazis were fighting the British Army in North Africa, there was a plan. And those young people from high school, they brought up a plan that's called Masada in the Carmel Mountain. And he said that if the Nazis are going to invade to Israel, we're all going to meet in the Carmel Mountain and we're going to fight them to the end. And if needed, we'll kill each other, but we won't let the Nazis put us on train and send us to the concentration camp and death camps in Europe. And today, Masada is a myth. It's a very important myth to us in Israel. We said the land was promised to us. And this is the last place that we're strong and independent and proud before it was stripped from us. But more than that, this is to teach us that we can. This is also part of who we are. We're not only people that are sitting in a yeshiva and study the Torah. We're also people that can fight and defend ourselves. And we're part of the landscape of this country. And this is why Masada is so important to Israelis even today. It's a huge part of the Israeli identity. This is who we are. We are tough. We belong here. We can make it. And it was promised to us. Okay? And those are the two legs on which the Israeli identity is standing. We have the rights and we can do it. It's not enough just to have the rights, and it's not enough just the fact that you can do it if you don't have the right. We have both. And this is why we should be here. And this is why we're willing to fight over the land. Okay? So this is the importance of Masada, and this is why you will see, even when it's hot today, when there is a young group of Jews from all over the world, this group is from the USA, they will come here. They need to hear it. They need to know this is part of their Jewish identity. It's a huge part of the Jewish and Israeli identity. Questions? I know it's super hot. So thank you very much for listening. What we're going to do now? We're going to start to walk down. Slowly, slowly. It will take us about 10 minutes. It's really not too bad.
Yes.
And we'll meet the bus. And from there, we're going to drive for 10 minutes to the Bedouin camp.
Maybe he's here. I think I saw the bus.
I saw him.